So I just came back from the People's Protest in Williamsburg, Virginia. I was going to go to the one in D.C., but I did not want to run into the MAGA because I'm pretty sure that they are going to start some really not great things. I just don't like the idea of two opposing forces coming together. Like, you also got enough people up there. Like, it was just, there was no way I was going to be driving up there 2 hours and looking for a place to park. And so I went to the one in Williamsburg, and most of the people were talking about the ERA being passed and, Biden's last, works, and how they're going to, try to work for the 2026 election, 2028 election, now that we've lost this election. But honestly, I'm kind of afraid that there won't be election. I'm kind of on that side of things, because, we all know that he wants a dictatorship, so, what's the good of voting anymore? Hopefully there is a, point in voting. But anyway, so I was one of the speakers. This is my second protest and my second time speaking, so I'm 2 for 2. I basically spoke about the TikTok ban and how it is taking away our freedom of speech, our freedom of assembly, and our freedom of protest. And it felt really empowering to actually, bring some news to the people, because a lot of people who aren't on this app, don't understand what's going on, don't understand, this is, like, for me, this is the beginning of the end. I don't want to say it that way, but it really does feel like that. Like, it is the start of the snowball of whatever the hell they're going to install, and, it was brought into action, basically, by, Trump's, crooked Supreme Court. But yeah, there was actually a large creator there, someone who said that, thank you for speaking about that, because I have, a really big following on TikTok. And then 2 other people, while we were protesting, while we were marching later, in the, my cat tax, but while we were, talking later, 2 other people came up to me and said that they would not have been at the protest had they not known about it, had they not known about it on TikTok. That's how big of an impact. There was only about, 30. It was pretty small, I think, because most of the people who are in Virginia probably went to the one in Washington because they knew that one was going to be bigger. I just didn't want to deal with that shit. But, there were a couple of people who were, there. That's at least, I'm bad at math, but, like, percentage-wise, if 3 people out of, 30 come, that's gotta be a big number. I don't know. But, and then, they were coming up to me and they were, thank you, thank you for speaking, this is a big, issue for me as well. We can't believe that, our 170 million people are being silenced. And nobody is speaking about it. Like, outside of TikTok, like, I feel like nobody is really saying anything. Or they're like, oh, I don't use that app, so I don't care. And it's like, my theory on that is a book burning is important whether or not you were planning on reading that book. It's about censorship. It's, you can't just say, oh, I wasn't going to use that app, so I don't care. It goes beyond that. It already involves you, whether you think it's, oh, I never downloaded that app, so I don't care. Like, it already involves you. It involves, this is setting precedent for freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of protest, and we're going into a fascist dictatorship, and, I don't like my, freedoms and my rights being taken away, and being blinded, and, possibly having a one-state media right before we enter a fascist dictatorship. Color me crazy. I don't know. But, yeah, and, like, a lot of people were coming up to me and were like, wow, you were actually very articulate. And I was like, thanks. I'm not that intelligent. I didn't know what I was talking about when I was up there. But then at the end, while we were, saying goodbye and, thank you for coming, I actually had a boomer come up to me and she was like, were you the girl who was talking about the TikTok ban? And I was like, yes. Because I didn't really, her tone was a little off at the beginning. And she was like, oh, I just wanted to, talk to you because I felt you were very, you just seem highly misinformed. You should know about the Chinese data. And I was just like, you come to me on the funeral of my TikTok. What is that line from Godfather? I was just like, no. In my head, I was thinking, no, not today. Not, we're not doing this today. This is not you speaking to me while my community is burning. While the Library of Alexandria is going down in flames, you're not telling me that the flames are necessary. Okay, you're not telling me that, who cares? It's just a library, guys. It's just a Library of Alexandria. It's just, who cares? We care, or we wouldn't have talked about it in the whole little speech that I did. I don't. But yeah, so I just was like, no, and I turned away. I was like, nah. And I didn't say anything else other than bye. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. And I'm giving that same energy to anyone else who wants to talk to me about my community and the things that I've seen and the things that I've done on this app and the things that I've learned on this app and the people that I've met and, the Supreme Court hearings that I've listened to and the congressional hearings that I've listened to. But no, I'm misinformed because Chinese data. No, I'm not doing it. We're not doing it. Keep your shit. I'm gonna go now. But I kind of feel bad because I didn't really stick up for TikTok, and I was like, I should have debated her, but also, no. What was that gonna prove? I don't know. But that was the people's protest today, so hopefully you were out there too, doing your own protesting, because it might be the last time we get to protest, considering what could be happening on Monday. But keep the faith, keep it going, don't let the light burn out.